Hello, it's your boy the HOD from the PSP, and welcome yet to another episode of the Pitchside Podcast and a review for the action in Europe's elite football. Like, share, comment and subscribe if you like this. Follow me on social media, the links will be in the description. Listen to this podcast on Spotify if you want to. Now let's get to the meat of things. Starting off in England on Friday, Newcastle left it late to score 2 past Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace at the Selhurst Park. Wilson and Joe Linton, each with a goal and an assist, helped Newcastle to a monumental win as Crystal Palace missed Zaha because of COVID. On Saturday though, things even were more tense at the lunch day kickoff at the time with all sorts of craziness in the wild draw between hosts Brighton, who got yet another crucial point, and Liverpool, who seemed like VAR has something against them scoring really. Of course, this comment is sarcastic because all of the VAR calls were right and fair, being 2 rightfully disallowed goals for offside for Liverpool, albeit one tighter than the other, 2 penalties for Brighton, with the second being the equaliser right at the death of the 95th minute. In between all of that drama, Brighton had a terrific game, getting the most out of a still incoherent Liverpool backline that relied too much on Robertson as Trent Alexander-Arnold was still out, putting Alisson in real danger almost every time Brighton players hit balls up front. Klopp's outfit were quite lifeless for most of the game, similar to their loss against Atalanta in the Champions League, and received another injury blow, this time to James Milner. The juiciest part of the game was Klopp's post-match interview. I recommend you to watch it, really. Look it up on YouTube and watch it. It's just banter material waiting. Almost ranting to BT Sports Desk Kelly about how unfair the schedule is, how dangerous the schedule is, digging at Chris Wilder for refusing the 5-sub substitution. Basically, he lost it without swearing. That's what happened. If you think I talk too much about this game, that was because elsewhere on Saturday it was uneventful, as a hat-trick scoring Riyad Mahrez helped Manchester City quickly dispatch the Burnley 5-0 in a game that hopefully will rejuvenate Guardiola's side, who have been ineffective this season. West Bromwich burying Sheffield United even in more dirt at the bottom, getting the better of them, winning 1-0 at the home stadium. On Sunday, things kicked off with a dramatic comeback away at the St Mary's for Manchester United, who looked behind Southampton in the driving seat, 2-0 trailing at half-time via a brilliant free kick from probably the best one to take them in the Premier League at the moment, James Ward-Prowse. Seriously, that guy deserves all the national call-ups he would deserve. United looked dead and buried before Edinson Cavani came in for Greenwood and proved he is a super sub, scoring twice at 59 minutes and at 92 minutes, with a Bruno Fernandes goal in between to save Man United from a big banana skin and get them to a 3rd win in a row in the Premier League, climbing to 8th up on the table. In the big anticipated game though, it was, you can actually add the tagline, overhype kills too, not just speed, as we witnessed a snooze fest in Stamford Bridge between Chelsea and Tottenham, a 0-0 that was insomnia curing to watch at certain points. Chelsea had a slight advantage overall, but Tottenham's defensive shape was too good to get through. It ended stalemate between the master and the teacher. Lampard failed to get a 3rd win over Mourinho, and Mourinho fails to get a Premier League win over Lampard. Tottenham blew the chance to get away with the lead as much as Chelsea blew it up to leap over their opponents and join Liverpool. Late on Sunday, Arsenal lost again, yet at home against Wolves, who were their compact self but very dangerous on the attack, getting the better of a side that should make some serious revisions to their game plan after being thought to be a good side that was making some stride before the start of the season. Side note though, we wish all the best to Raul Jimenez, who came off after 15 minutes because of a very nasty collision with David Luiz, who himself was subbed short after half time. Of course, quick recovery for both, especially for Raul Jimenez. From all sorts, it was a very bad injury. All in all, Arsenal inclined again, finding themselves at 14th and adding more food to thought for Arteta about how to manage the crisis. Leicester City round things up against Fulham on Monday in a God-given chance to make up for the last week outing against Fulham in order to join Spurs and Liverpool at the top. Also, West Ham hosts Aston Villa on Monday to wrap up the round. Moving up And in Spain, Real Valladolid drew against Levante in the Friday, so no one cares game, one for all. On Saturday kickoff at lunchtime, 10-man Elche did the same against Cadiz. They kicked the Saturday's fixtures. After that, Atletico's Simeone side benefited from an own goal to grab yet another 3 points, albeit in a less pleasant performance than what everybody expected before a tough fixture clashing against Bayern in the Champions League in midweek against a very game Valencia side who probably should get a point at least from that match. Sevilla yet again saved themselves in the dying moment thanks to El Nasiri against Huesca, giving his side a major boost ahead of a big game against Chelsea in the midweek. In the game of the night though, all things indicated that Real Madrid were not having the best night at Alfredo Di Stefano. 5 minutes in, they conceded a penalty against Alaves, find themselves 1-0 down. What happened afterwards was a mix of bad fortune and bad management. Hazard went down injured after 25 minutes, and Alaves just discovered some new routes into Real Madrid's defence that would probably make Christoph Columbus and Marco Polo jealous of them. A nightmarish defensive display where Courtois was called upon about 6-7 times probably to stop clear cut, and I mean clear cut, not half and half chances, net goals that is for Alaves, although he paid his due in the glorious fail of Real Madrid by gifting the second goal to Joselu in the 55th minute, doing his best impression of Liverpool's Adrian. The rest of the game was Real Madrid scrambling for a lifeline they did not find, and Casemiro's goal was nothing but a pure consolation before heading to a very intriguing trip to face Shakhtar Donetsk in the Champions League, which was easy before this game, looking at how Real Madrid played against Inter, but after this display it will give Real Madrid fans all sorts of JPGBs probably. The biggest rivals for Real Madrid though, Barcelona, were not as shambolic on Sunday as they dealt with Osasuna, beating them 4-0. Goals from the new Brazilian Ronaldo, Martin Braithwaite, at least if you look at his haircut, Griezmann via a beautiful volley in which he probably put out all his frustration and disappointment with his career at Barca so far. Coutinho made it 3 before Messi made it 4, and quite a touchy celebration tribute, honouring of course the late great Diego Armando Maradona. Getafe drew 1-1 against Athletic Bilbao. Celta Vigo finally, with their first win in 5 against Granada, getting out of the relegation for a change as well. And the top table clash, it was no victor decided as Real Sociedad drew 1-1 against Villarreal. Real Betis host Eibar on Monday to round the fixture up, but it won't change the table that much. Real Sociedad keep the lead and keep Atletico behind by only 1 point, as Villarreal, Real Madrid, Sevilla, Cadiz and Barcelona are all taking the next spots in the chase. Moving on, and in Italy, Sassuolo weren't up to the task as Inter managed a more boosting 3-0 win, at least getting them back into life in Serie A as the UCL hopes looked dashed ahead of a game against Mönchengladbach at Borussia Park. Benevento hold the Scudetto champions Juventus to a draw that both his goals were scored in the first half, as Juventus finished the game with 10-man Morata being sent off for violent conduct very late. Another disappointing result for a yet to be convincing Pirlo side who cannot make it 2 in a row it seems, but taking advantage of results around them to stay 4th in the table. One of these results being Atalanta losing at home to Verona 2-0. The unbalanced form for Gasperini continues in the Liga. As Verona keep on their great form, another solid performance and result proving how good they can be just behind the top 6. On Saturday, Lazio shockingly kicked things off with a 3-1 loss against Udinese, who managed a first away win by an impressive margin and performance, with Lazio's consolation coming late via a Immobile penalty, but you can understand of course their minds are already thinking about the game against Dortmund in the Champions League. AC Milan made it 29 unbeaten games as they comfortably dispatched of Fiorentina with a 2-0 brace, first half lead via Romagnoli and Kessié from the spot, proving that Ibrahimovic not being there does not affect him that much really, leading the table but 5 points ahead of their local rivals Inter. Elsewhere on Sunday, Bologna defeated Crotone predictably 1-0, Genoa squandered 3 points given a late penalty to give Spezia an important point away, and in a game that was designed really to honour Maradona in his second city. Napoli made sure he is happy in the heavens, winning 4-0 and bossing the capital city Wolves in AS Roma. Insigne paid the tribute to Napoli's first icon by opening the score from a beautiful free kick and a touchy celebration just like Messi with the number 10 shirt of Maradona. In the second half, Fabian Ruiz made it 2 before Mertens and Politano made it 3-0 and 4-0 in the last 10 minutes. Big win for Napoli, getting them up to 5th, as much as it is a big loss for Roma, a side who dropped to 6 behind their beaters after quite the good form as of late. On Monday, the round finishes with Torino hosting Sampdoria and Genoa hosting Parma to complete the fixtures. Finishing off, and in the Bundesliga in Germany, the 9th round of Bundesliga action offered some exciting encounters and newsworthy developments across the table. On Friday, Wolfsburg turned a 2-0 deficit against Werder Bremen into a 5-3 thriller with 5 goals of those in the first half only, entertaining games that had twists and turns all around through as Wolfsburg make the climb into the top 5, taking place of Union Berlin, who were good to win on home soil, leading 2-0 against Eintracht Frankfurt inside 6 minutes, or looked so, only for Andre Silva to bring his side back to the level terms by half-time thanks to a brace and increasing his goal tally to 7 in this season's. Of course, in the second half, momentum seesawed between the two sides. Frankfurt thought they won it thanks to a Bast goal from a Dayachi Kamada assist. Between quotes, you can add that player to the underrated column, by the way. Only for Max Kruse to make it 3 apiece only 3 minutes later at 82 to share the spoils as Union Berlin's winning run stops at only 3, while Frankfurt with the 6th draw of the season, aka Mr. Draw. In Stuttgart, Bayern Munich had a tough task indeed, going against an undefeated side in the last 5, albeit 4 draws amongst those. Stuttgart played really well in the first half, getting the best out of Bayern's high line and scoring in the 20th minute in a textbook goal that is conceded because of the high line for Bayern, as the champions were caught once again on the counter by the centre-halves. Kingsley Coman brought it back to level terms after quite the struggle, creating chances in the 37th minute. VAR saved Bayern from another Stuttgart goal after calling a foul on Neuer in the build-up, before Lewandowski fired his side back into the lead before the break. More struggle in the second half that was aggravated even more as Boateng, Tolisso and Hernandez all were injured, and that is quite concerning before clash against Atletico in midweek. But Douglas Costa from the bench made sure they have the 3 points at least, scoring 3rd against a very good Stuttgart outfit that put on quite some fight. RB Leipzig kept chasing though, grinding out a win against newly promoted Arminia Bielefeld thanks to goals from the ever-brilliant Angelino, who continues to show Manchester City the kind of gem that they were missing on. Former PSG gem in his own right, Christopher Nkunku. Leipzig now are 2 points behind Bayern, and at this point maybe they will have more stamina to go deeper in the title race and actually give Bayern a run for their money. A team that definitely wasn't giving anyone a run for their money was Borussia Dortmund, inclined against relegation settlers before this fixture. FC Köln, 2 carbon copy goals from Elias Esredi from corners, unmarked in the far post to get the win for his side against Lucien Favre's man, who looked all sorts of lost, and at certain points in the match they were clearly outdone by the hard work put by FC Köln. Regressing to the 4th place, it looks like this be one other of them seasons where it's all talk no walk for BVB, who for all the young and vibrant squad they have, they lack some serious oomph and solidity in the tactics somehow, which should be fixed if they want to have a strong season and go back into title contention. Augsburg drew yet again against Freiburg, 1 for all, 6 draw as well for them, while Borussia Mönchengladbach finished Saturday with aplomb, predictably dispatching Schalke 04 appropriately by 4-1, heading into that big Champions League clash against Inter Milan. It looks all doom and gloom for the Royal Blues. One of Germany's historic clubs seems to be heading down in all aspects, which is something that shouldn't be happening, but hopefully the side won't find itself ending like what happened to Palermo in Italy, and maybe resurrect itself into relevancy once again. On Sunday, Peter Bosch's Bayer Leverkusen drew goalless against Hertha Berlin, but kept their third spot because of Dortmund's slip against Köln. This should be only an anomaly for a side that is building quite a serious foundation for another top finish season. Finally, Hoffenheim managed to share away points from the trip to Mainz, drawing 1-1, quite the achievement for Hoffenheim considering they finished the game one-man down because of a red card. It doesn't look good for Hoffenheim, who seemed like world beaters when they outclassed Bayern 4-1 earlier this season, but they are dangerously close to relegation places at the moment. After this week in the Bundesliga, the top four in the table are Bayern Munich, of course, Leipzig, Leverkusen, and regressing Borussia Dortmund, with Wolfsburg climbing in at 5th, while Schalke, hapless at the bottom of the barrel at 18th, Arminia Bielefeld and Mainz above them, and Köln just sneaking their heads outside of the relegation zone at 15th. That was your Bundesliga lot, and that is all for the weekend review. Thank you for watching / listening. Make sure you like, share this video, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel to help us produce more content. Follow us on social media, links at the description and the usernames that appear on screen. Until I'm back with you seeing a recap episode on Thursday, I was your boy, the HOD from the PSP, and goodbye.